A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a rapidly evolving geopolitical landscape, European leaders are expressing growing concerns over the United States' approach to peace negotiations regarding the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Following a significant phone call between US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, the urgency for Europe to secure a seat at the negotiation table has intensified. Trump's announcement of immediate negotiations has raised alarms among European officials, who fear that Ukraine could be sidelined in discussions that shape its future. During a recent NATO summit in Brussels, where many European leaders hoped to influence US strategy, the reality of Trump's unilateral approach became apparent. Trump's assertion that he had a highly productive phone call with Putin and his intent to meet with the Russian leader in person soon has left European allies anxious about their role in the peace process. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius articulated the sentiment of many European officials, stating that it was regrettable for Washington to make concessions to Russia before negotiations had even begun. He emphasized that Europe would directly face the consequences of any decisions made without their involvement, insisting on the necessity of being part of the negotiations. Chancellor Olaf Scholz echoed these concerns, warning that any agreement imposed on Ukraine could lead to a dictated peace that would embolden Russia. He stressed the importance of ensuring Ukraine's participation in any discussions that could impact its territorial integrity and sovereignty. The Swedish Defense Minister, Pål Johnson, highlighted the substantial military support European nations provided to Ukraine, noting that they accounted for approximately 60% of assistance last year. He insisted that Europe must be engaged in discussions, particularly in light of US calls for Europe to take more responsibility for Ukraine's long-term security. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte emphasized the need for a durable peace agreement, one that would prevent Putin from attempting to seize further Ukrainian territory. He underscored the importance of Ukraine's involvement in the peace talks, stating that any resolution must be lasting and secure. As the situation unfolds, the new U.S. Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, has made it clear that the expectation of reverting Ukraine's borders to pre-2014 status is unrealistic, and that NATO membership for Ukraine is not a viable outcome of the negotiations. His statements have raised eyebrows among European allies, who have consistently advocated for Ukraine's right to reclaim its territory and pursue NATO membership. Hegseth defended the U.S. approach, insisting that there was no betrayal of Ukraine, but rather a recognition of the global need for a negotiated peace. He praised Trump's negotiating abilities, asserting that his leadership could facilitate dialogue between the conflicting parties. However, he also made it clear that the U.S. would not deploy troops on the ground as part of any security guarantees, placing the onus on European nations to bolster their defense capabilities. The Kremlin has expressed its desire for negotiations not only concerning Ukraine but also regarding broader European security concerns, including demands for NATO to revert to its 1997 borders. This complexity adds another layer to the already intricate discussions surrounding Ukraine's future. As European leaders continue to voice their apprehensions, they remain committed to ensuring that any peace talks include their perspectives and that Ukraine's sovereignty is upheld. The situation remains fluid, and the coming weeks will be critical in determining the trajectory of peace negotiations and the fate of Ukraine amidst the ongoing conflict with Russia. In a recent statement, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed his willingness to collaborate with the U.S. in finding a path to peace, underscoring Ukraine's desire for a resolution to the conflict. He emphasized that Ukraine seeks peace more than anyone and is ready to work closely with the U.S. to counter Russian aggression and secure a lasting peace. While the discussions continue, the importance of unity among European allies and the inclusion of Ukraine in any negotiations cannot be overstated. As the stakes remain high, the world watches closely to see how these developments unfold and what implications they may have for the future of European security and stability. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.